A little late, but can you blame me? It's Monday. Wait, hold on a second. I just realized something. I need to go into my live stream settings. If I sound a little sickly, I'm honestly not feeling great. What up, Sevens? I'm not feeling too hot today. I noticed that earlier. Not gonna be a super long stream. I know I say that sometimes, and the streams just end up being the exact same time they usually are. But it can't be a super long stream today. I am going on Locked On Mavs later, so you guys will be seeing me there tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever they drop their episodes. It is tonight. They usually do it at night. So you'll see me there. So I can't stream that long. I need to go into settings here. Permissions, is that what it is? No, community. All right. All of these hidden users. All right. Let's go in. Dallas Cowboys, muted word. Need to unmute it. Cowboys, muted word. Need to unmute it. I do have Goran Dragic on here too. And I have Mike Toby also on here. So if you've ever said Mike Toby and I haven't responded, there's the reason. Garfield is on here. Why would Garfield be on here? Anyways, all right, you guys are now free to say Dallas Cowboys in the chat, where you were previously not able to. What is like going on here? Like what the fuck is going on? What went wrong? Why is this all of a sudden so prominent? We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We will talk about them. Listen, man. At a certain point, you guys are really going to have to start respecting my my NFL picks, because it's kind of getting weird how good I am. Kind of getting weird how good I am. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We'll talk about some of the stuff that was said. Obviously, the Damian Lillard stuff, I'm done. Like, I got sucked back in. I really thought, okay, now it's finally happening. You know, I had ignored all of the other shit going on. But finally, you know, it's actually happening. No, I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't know what is going on with the Damian Lillard stuff. I definitely thought it was over. It was reaching an endpoint, but that just does not seem to be the case at all. Like, it seems like we're as in the dark as we ever were. As in the dark as we ever were, because it's like, oh, well, hey, the Raptors actually like think they can get him now. And it's like, well, actually, the Celtics are the betting favorites to get him. If it, like, this is true, actually. The Celtics are the betting favorites to get him if it's not the Miami Heat. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. You have like Dame's cousin who's tweeting out shit like, oh, this is all a smokescreen. Like, what does Dame's cousin know? Honestly. What does Dame's cousin know? I've always wondered that. Is he in the office with the Portland Trailblazers, you know, decision makers? Is he in there? Of course not. Let me tweet out that I'm live. Live right now. Are Derek Lively? and Omax going to start for the Mavericks. More Damian Lillard nonsense talking about the Cowboys. Get in here. 49ers going to shit down the Cowboys' throat. Yeah, they probably will. Are we really that surprised? Yeah, Mavs are back this week. They are back. They are training camp starts. We're only a week, 2 weeks away from a preseason game. So it's gonna be here before you even know it. It's right around the corner. But I don't understand what happened to my camera orientation. To be 100% honest with you. Because like, okay, the camera usually goes right here, right? But then why is this so fucking, like, why is the wall visible? Whatever. How many more subs do you need to get into media day? I don't want to go into media day. Like, I'm just being honest. I don't really want to go there. So that's not my type of content. I don't interview. I would never get a media pass. I've talked about this a million times. I know what goes into getting those. And it's a lot of this. It's a lot of that. And I don't do that. Yeah, I'm going to be on Locked On tonight, or yeah, tomorrow. I'm recording it today. So, all right, here's what happened. 97-1, The Freak. Shout out to Mavs Film Room, live tweeting all of this. Mark Stein went on with Jason Kidd. Mark Stein went on with Jason Kidd. They talked, they discussed some stuff, and there were some interesting quotes. I never really know what to expect out of these. Usually I expect nothing, to be completely and totally honest with you, but there were some interesting quotes in this one. So let's look. Let's go through this thread and see what was said. JC Kidd on 97-1 The Freak with the Stein line says their preseason overseas scheduling will be challenging, but the Mavs will look at it as an opportunity to get closer as a team. So there is, we've looked at this before. Historically, teams that are overseas to start the season do typically start slow, which is a little bit spooky for the Mavs. But with that being said, though, we've also looked through the teams that did it, and they're not the best teams. Sometimes they weren't really teams that that were expected to be good. But it is something to keep in mind. JC Kidd said Luka Doncic was doing two. By the way, I've seen some tweets. I did not read this entire thread. So some of this stuff I'll be seeing for the first time. JC Kidd said Luka Doncic was doing 2-a-day practices in Slovenia in preparation for the FIBA World Cup. Kidd visited Luka in Slovenia earlier in the summer. Luka doing 2-a-days. How about that? He did look better. Like physical wise, conditioning wise, he did look much improved. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I said, hey guys, I don't give a fuck about this name stuff anymore, and then he gets traded during a stream? The Raptors are very interested in acquiring Damian Lillard and very much in the mix for getting potential deal done with the Trailblazers. Like, ugh. I'm telling you what this is. I'm just going to tell you full stop what this is. The Heat, no pun intended, is turning up on the Trailblazers. They realize the Heat don't really want to give us what we want, and maybe those reports are true. Maybe the Heat are like, you know what? Like, we went to the NBA Finals last year. Do we want to, like, blow our load on a 33-year-old point guard when, like, you know, we are a destination. Players do want to come here. And listen, Giannis might be available soon. Embiid might be available soon. Dare I say, another tall point guard might be available soon. Donovan Mitchell could be available soon. Dame's obviously better than Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell's, he's younger. Toronto getting him would be very interesting. So Mavericks camp starts this week. I don't know if that's true for every team who's going overseas, to be honest with you. But most teams who, are staying stateside during the preseason, those teams start. Next week, I believe. Looking at our roster, hopefully we don't have to play Luka 40 minutes a night with the depth we have, Jason Kidd said. Hopefully that's true. You guys know how I feel about that. Hopefully that's true. That was one of the things when I was defending myself for saying I didn't want Luka to play that many minutes in a non-consequential Slovenia game. I'm very consistent with that take. I feel the same way during, the regular season for the Mavs. I hate when we overextend Luka. I hate when he plays more minutes than I think he needs to. If you're the Cavs GM, who you trade first, Mitchell or Garland? Definitely Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I'm telling you, Donovan Mitchell is. I would be shocked if Donovan Mitchell was on the Cavs next season. The start, not this upcoming season, but the start of next season. I'd be shocked. Didn't the Luka stands lose your mind at you for that take? Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm not delving back into it. It is what it is. Jason Kidd says Kyrie Irving's experience playing with some of the best players in the league allows him to blend with anyone. That's a big reason why I wanted Kyrie Irving. That exact reasoning right there. You had a tantrum for 6 additional minutes in one game. You guys keep saying tantrum. It wasn't a tantrum. But yeah, I mean, 6 additional minutes in a non-consequential game the day after playing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was responsible. I just don't. I think this is going to be an exciting time for Mavs basketball. I hope you're right, kid. That's why I wanted Kyrie, though, was because the ability to blend in. Dude, on my small screen, your shirt looks like it says All-Star 2023 Slut. That is what it says. Where's the All-Star game this year? Is it in Cleveland? Where is it? Oh, Indy. All right, Indianapolis. There you go. Logo looks pretty sick. Okay, here we go. This is a big one here. This is the big one. I look for those rookies to play a lot this season. Obviously, talking about Derek Lively and Omax. There could be a chance that one of them is starting. Jason Kidd on the rookies. It's up for grabs. Jason Kidd on the Mavs starting center rotation. Kidd calls the trio of Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and Grant Williams the big group, and will try out different combinations to fill other 2 starting spots. So Luka, Kyrie, and Grant Williams locked into the starting lineup. I made like a joke tweet about Omax and Derek Lively starting, where I posted a made up starting 5. Admittedly, I forgot about Grant Williams. I put Josh Green in instead of Grant Williams. Admittedly, I forgot whenever I was concocting the tweet. Jason Kidd said the Mavs will start Derek Lively and Omax Prosper with Luka, Kyrie, and Grant Williams in training camp, and in one or both Dubai games. Oh, is this what everyone was freaking out about? Honestly, I didn't read all the quotes. I just assumed that Kidd said, yeah, we think Lively and Omax are going to start. Starting them in training camp and in one of the preseason games? Okay, yeah, I like that, actually. Why not? I mean, throw your rookies into the fire. Lively is a little bit more raw as a prospect for sure. I think Omax can contribute immediately. I really do. He just has that type of play style. One. Two, I mean, the stuff you saw in Summer League did not look like a rookie. You know, like when you watch Summer League games, you could tell who's a rookie, who needs to learn the ropes a little bit, and who's a second-year guy who, you know, has been in the league, has been around other NBA guys. Omax looked like a second-year guy. What makes Lively seem raw? Offense. It's hard. It's hard being a center, especially a center where it's like, hey, you're going to be the defensive anchor. It's hard to come in to the NBA and immediately pick everything up. Immediately pick up, here's what I'm supposed to be doing on defense. All right, pick and rolls. If it's between these two people, I need to be doing this. If it's between those two people, I need to be doing that. You know, it's just a lot going on. And it could be difficult for a first-year guy to pick it up. But we've seen it work. I mean, Walker Kessler last year was incredible. Yeah, Omax did dominate Jarris Walker. That was a bit eye-opening. There's also some concerns about him, you know, setting screens and stuff, but I'm excited to have him on board because he's another voice on the floor that we need. Jason Kidd on Grant Williams' role on the team. I think Grant Williams is going to have a gigantic impact on this team. I just do. The more I think about it, he's a kid guy through and through, I feel like. Like through and through, he's a Jason Kidd type of player. And I think for the reasoning Kidd's talking about here, being like a vocal player on the court who is sort of an extension of the coaching staff on the floor. I feel like the Mavericks had that with like Dorian. Sort of the defensive anchor, play caller, if you will. Kind of like the linebacker almost. When you talk about being young, athletic, playing faster, when you look at the depth of our team, we're deep. Jason Kidd on the changes the Mavs made this offseason. I agree. That's what I've been saying. Jason Kidd says he wants Tim Hardaway Jr.'s goal to be sixth man of the year this season. So I saw some reactions to this. Yeah, see, like, what the fuck? Good heck, this is dumb. I love Jason Kidd, the player, but hate him as a coach. I don't understand the negative response to this at all. Like, this is a weird thing to get angry at just because, I mean, what? Like, okay, so we've established Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench. Tim Hardaway Jr., your goal this year should be winning sixth man of the year. What is wrong with that? Like, what? Wait, what? What is wrong with that? That's just like classic management 101. If you want your the people you're managing or coaching to set individual goals for themselves, because if they do that and they set out to achieve those goals, then it helps the group, it helps the team. What is wrong with wanting your sixth man to win sixth man of the year? Literally nothing. Maybe they think Hardy's already a full-rounded player. Was there not more tweets about this? Oh, yeah, there's a new scoreboard, by the way. People are saying it means they won't trade Tim. That's what folks find wording with that. No team is ever going to come out and just be like, hey, this looks nice. Look at that. Luka and Grant Williams bonding. No coach or GM is going to ever come out and be like, hey, by the way, Tim Hardaway Jr. winning sixth man of the year? No, probably not. We're probably going to trade him. Zoom in on Luka's hairline. No, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do that to him. They did do some work on the roof. I do know that for a fact. Sounds like Jason Kidd wants Derek Lively and Olivier Maxence Prosper to be the starters along with Luka, Kyrie, and Grant, but they will have to earn it in camp. Given everything we heard from the organization about needing defense and athleticism, this makes sense. Yeah, just judging, I didn't listen to the interview, but just judging by the quotes, it doesn't seem like it was like a, hey, they're starting for sure. It was like they're going to have a chance to start. They're going to have a chance to start. I agree with Matt Silverman on this part, on this right here. That basically what he's saying is that Luka, Kyrie, and Grant Williams are starting. Everything else is up for grabs. Interestingly enough, not a lot of Josh Green talk. Some people are mentioning that. And yeah, of course the team lacks faith in Josh Green, man. His confidence wavers. Like, you can't have guys on the floor who are scared of the moment and scared to shoot. And the reality is I like Josh. I think Josh can be a great player in the league, but he has moments where he's, a little bit timid. Josh needs to be confident in Josh before anyone else can trust him. Yeah, that's it, 100%. And hopefully, for the Mavericks' sake, Josh Green is confident this year because they need it. So, of course, with this all being said, you had some, I don't want to say, some people are skeptical of whether or not this is a good thing for the Mavericks. And there's some pretty valid criticisms, like Iztok here. Last rookie center that played greater than 10 minutes per game in the playoffs. Bam Adebayo with 15.5 minutes per game in 17-18. Miami lost 4-1 in the first round. Last rookie center that played 20 minutes a game or more in the playoffs. Miles Turner with 28. 15-16 Indiana. Lost 4-3 to Toronto in the first round. Last several rookies playing significant playoff minutes. New Orleans Pelicans in 2021, 2022. Last rookie center with decent minutes in a deep playoff run. Steven Adams, 2013, 2014. So, whenever we talk, we had these same exact conversations before the draft. Whenever we're talking about rookies, it's really difficult because like so much context and nuance goes into all of them, and how much rookies like contribute on playoff teams. So I went through and I looked at the last 3 postseasons and figured out, all right, how many first round picks were on these teams and how much did they play? By the way, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. It helps me out tremendously. It's YouTube now having a great time, of which we are. 110 of you in here, 18 likes. That's not good enough. I'm just being I'm just being transparent with you guys. That's not acceptable behavior. And you really need to fix it. And we are waiting on an uncrusty to thaw. So, we're waiting on an uncrusty to thaw out. The only reason why I did the last 3 streams or last 3 postseasons is because I didn't want to go back any further. It was too much work. Is the recent hype on Lively for real or just plain hype? His rank has been rising over the last week. Would you pick him 12? Would you pick him in 12-team points league? Thanks, guys. Oh, you're asking the wrong guy about fantasy basketball. Pop that crusty in the oven. It does say, like, it makes me a little bit concerned. Whenever food is like, hey, do not prepare this way. Do not put me in the microwave. You do not want to see what happens when you put me in the microwave. That always concerns me because that's what these are like. It always says, do not heat this up. Like, please don't heat this up. And it's like, why? What's going to happen? Is there metal inside that's going to catch on fire or something? Like, it's just bread. I should be able to put it in the oven. Maybe the jelly. The jelly would definitely probably get fucked up. But peanut butter and bread in the oven should be fine, right? For non-U.S. citizens, what's a crusty? An uncrusty? Uncrustable. They're just like these mini peanut butter jelly sandwiches. That's literally all they are. My eating habits are so terrible. I am on a slightly fit journey currently, and I've been doing pretty well. But for some reason, whenever I start working out a bunch and stuff, I'm not fucking hungry, which is like the opposite of what it should be. So like this is what I usually eat for like lunch, something like this. It shouldn't be about precedent. It should be about fit. If Lively can do the bare minimum, set screens, dribble handoffs, protect the rim, we'll be fine. Yeah, and listen, here's the reality, right? I'm about to show you guys right here. The reality is a lot of times playoff teams, you know, typically in the NBA, you don't have this crazy. In the NFL, you do have sort of crazy. I think it's every year, half of the playoff teams from the year before are out of the playoffs and a new 6 teams are in. Like, it's pretty much that every single year. That doesn't really happen in the NBA. The good teams are good for a while. You know, there's some fluctuations, usually like in the bottom 2-3 spots of playoff seedings. But outside of that, like, it's usually the teams that are good are good. And because of that, you know, yeah, these teams usually don't have either the draft pick to draft somebody who's immediately ready to help, or, you know, they don't have picks at all. We're about to look at that right here. Here's the 2023 NBA playoffs. Here are the teams who made it in 2023. And here's the rookies they had on their roster. Rookie first-round picks, by the way. I didn't want to do second-round picks because it's just not fair, really. Milwaukee Bucks, Marion Beauchamp. They drafted him 27th overall. Was always a project. Never was going to be an actual contributor on their team immediately. 2.5 minutes per game in the playoffs. Garbage time. Celtics had no first. Sixers had no picks. Cavaliers drafted Ochai Agbaji. Traded him for Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks had no first-round picks. The Nets had no picks. The Hawks drafted AJ Griffin 16th overall, who did not play. Was he hurt? I cannot remember. He played a lot for them and had a good rookie season, but just did not play in the playoffs. And then Jovic here for the Heat. Obviously, he was always a project, so they didn't expect him to come in and play immediately. Western Conference, obviously, you had Christian Brown for the Nuggets. Peyton Watson as well. They drafted 30th overall. Peyton Watson didn't play at all, really, in the playoffs. Christian Brown, 13 minutes a game. And that's even a little bit misleading, to be honest with you, because they were very highly impactful minutes. You see 13 minutes a game and think, okay, he's just kind of getting thrown in to give guys a rest. No, he was playing very impactful minutes, guarding the Kevin Durant's of the world. So Christian Brown was a massive boost for the Nuggets. Jake LaRavia for the Grizzlies, 19th overall. He did not play. He had a weird season. Only played like 33 games total. David Roddy, 23rd overall. He played 12.7 minutes per game. He had a pretty solid rookie season, obviously. Absolutely torched the Mavericks 2 games in a row. That was really the low point for the Mavericks season, I think. Of course, the Kings drafted Keegan Murray 4th overall, 27 minutes per game. You know, a top 4 or 5 picks going to play a lot. Suns had no picks. The Clippers had no firsts. The Warriors drafted Patrick Baldwin Jr., who did not play. He was always a project. Like, there was no way he was ever going to play immediately. And Wendell Moore Jr., 26th overall for the Timberwolves, who also drafted Walker Kessler, by the way, who definitely would have played a lot for them. But obviously he got traded in the Rudy Gobert trade. So you can kind of see how it's a little misleading to go, oh, well, no rookies play in the playoffs. Well, yeah, look at the teams who made the playoffs. Like, usually teams with playoff aspirations aren't coming into the season with like pretty promising rookie picks who are like kind of ready to contribute immediately, or are like fill-ins in positions of need. 2022 playoffs, the Heat had no picks. The Celtics had no first. The Bucks had no first. Sixers took Jaden Springer, who barely played. Raptors, Scotty Barnes, 4th overall, 33.5 minutes a game. Of course, he got injured during that series against the Sixers. Fucked up his ankle or whatever it was. No first for the Bulls. Although, this 2022... Wait. No, this was not the Ayo Dosunmu year. Never mind. Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe both didn't play for the Nets. But again, Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe, like no one was expecting them to play. Jalen Johnson got some spot minutes here and there in the playoffs. But again, you know, a project type player. Suns had no picks. Zaire Williams, 16.8 minutes per game. His fall off in year 2 was something else. But Zaire Williams, 10th overall, got a healthy amount of minutes for the Grizzlies that postseason. And had some big moments for them, actually, in the playoffs, believe it or not. Santi Aldama, 30th overall. He didn't play. Kuminga and Moody, obviously. Both lottery picks. Kuminga played more minutes his rookie year in the playoffs than he did his second year. But they had a weird, just a weird stuff going on there with the coaching and the rotations. The Nuggets drafted Bones Highland, 26th overall. He played out of necessity, really. 17.5 minutes per game. And then the Pelicans, Trey Murphy, 20 minutes per game. They also had Herb Jones this year, who was a second-round pick, who played a healthy amount of minutes. And in 2021, you guys are starting to see the drift here. Like, I went ahead and highlighted the lottery picks here. Denny Avdia, by the way, would have played a very healthy amount of minutes in the playoffs, but he was hurt. Aaron Nesmith played 15 minutes per game for the Celtics his rookie year in the playoffs. Nesmith had a pretty nice year. A pretty nice under-the-radar season, actually, for the Pacers this past season. Jalen Smith barely played. That was a terrible pick from the moment it happened. So that doesn't really count to me. Like, that was a god-awful pick the moment it was made. I feel like it might be better. Look, I'm going to pull up 2022 NBA draft. It might be better to look at it this way. Let's look at the draft. How many of these guys in the lottery would have contributed immediately if their team made the playoffs last year? Paolo, obviously, yes. Chet hurt, but yes, he would have. Jabari Smith, obviously, yes. Keegan Murray, he did. He played like 30 minutes a game. Jay Ivey, Ben Math, yeah, he would have contributed off the bench. Shaden Sharp, Dyson Daniels, no. Jeremy Sohan, yes. Johnny Davis, Ousmane Dieng, no. J-Dub, yes, obviously. Jalen Duren, yes. Abaji, I would even maybe say Abaji, sure. A little bit. Can we really predict what will happen with the rookie from what happened before? It's kind of pointless. Yeah, no, I agree. That's like... I just think it's misleading whenever you're talking about, oh, well, it hasn't really happened before. Well, yeah, that's just different circumstances, though. It's just different circumstances. Like, let's say the Mavericks did sneak into the playoffs last year, right? I know we're just dealing with hypotheticals. Mark Williams, Jalen Duren, Walker Kessler. If any of those guys were on the Mavericks, they're a playoff team last year, 1. And 2, those guys are getting very, very healthy minutes immediately and are big-time contributors. Because they fit the need the Mavericks had, and all 3 of those guys had really good rookie seasons for centers. Duren, Mark Williams, and Kessler. Yeah, the Mavs are in a unique situation. They had a very glaring need, a player in the draft who is a lottery talent, fits it like a glove. Like, just literally, it's like a perfect puzzle piece. Slots right into what you need from a center, a rim runner, shot blocker, set screens, doesn't really want the ball in his hands, some interesting, playmaking potential on short rolls, and a good rebounder. Boom. Fits perfectly. The ideal center next to Luka is available. And then you have Omax, who's like this do-it-all Swiss Army knife wing, can defend a bunch of different positions, has good, offensive upside. Yeah, guess what? The Mavericks make the playoffs. That guy's probably going to play a decent amount. Rare team with 2 superstars get 2 first-round picks. Also, D-Live and Omax are both old heads, mature, smart guys with low egos. Well, you would like to think so. I mean, Omax definitely looked better in Summer League. I'll just say that. Need a PJ Washington level guy to play the 3-4, a decent 7-foot guy who can block shots and stretch the floor to an okay level like Hartenstein. Capello's a waste at 20 million, 8 and 35 million. Lively will be okay. Yeah, I think Lively's going to be fine. Yeah, they obviously have Derek Jones Jr. So, I don't know. It's interesting, right? Relying on a rookie is definitely a little bit scary, but I don't know. Just sort of tossing the idea of it in the trash because, like, look at NBA history. It doesn't happen. I don't know. I feel like that's a little disingenuous. How many minutes do you think Derek Jones Jr. will get? That's a good question. I really don't know what his role is going to be. He's probably more so a situational guy. If everyone's healthy, he's probably just a situational minute guy. You know, if the matchup sort of dictates we need more athleticism and more length, he probably plays a little bit more. I don't know if he's going to be like super in the rotation, if that makes sense. I have no idea though. We'll find out. We're only a few weeks away from finding out. I'd rather risk playing them. In worst case, they get more minutes to develop. Well, there is always a concern that maybe we throw this guy into the fire too early, and it just kind of fucks him. You know, this does happen. Throw guys into the fire way too soon. They're not ready for it. It really sort of hinders their development and kills their confidence. Nick from Locked On thinks it matters a ton that it hasn't happened. You better call him out on it tonight. I mean, it definitely matters some, but I just feel like, I don't know. Look at last year's draft. Again, if the Mavericks had one of these rookie centers, Jalen Duren, Walker Kessler, Mark Williams, they're probably in the playoffs. And those guys are probably getting huge minutes for them. What if Istok thinks Wemby should have gotten limited minutes when we drafted him number 1? Okay, well, that's different, though. That's completely different. Why is the only way to develop to play real games? Does practice not exist? Yeah, sometimes guys need like a year in the league just to see, you know, I'm thinking guys like, just looking at this draft, like Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jovic. Like those guys were never going to play minutes early. And it was always just, you know, get him in an NBA program, coach him up. An NBA weight training program. Is that the thing you'll be talking about on Locked On Mavs? I have no idea. I'm just going to go on there. The real question is, who the fuck is locking down guards? Yeah, that is a area of concern for the Mavs, is having a point of attack defender. Like Josh Green. That's why I do think ultimately Josh Green is going to have to start for you. He's probably your best point of attack defender right now. But it could be Exum. If Exum can shoot, like he might see more minutes than people are expecting, I think. Like if Exum's around 37, 38% from 3, we'll probably get a decent amount of Dante Exum minutes. Random question, who's basically the international station of NBA? Us, the Mavs, or San Antonio? I feel like San Antonio gets talked about a lot in that regard. But the Mavs, you know, the two best players in Mavs franchise's history have been, you know, European. Dante Exum, 38% shooter, is a worse screen. I think Dante Exum actually looks, just from what I saw in FIBA, Dante Exum looks more comfortable with the ball in his hands than Josh Green. London Hoops. I agree with Hottenstein. Holmes in 2 seconds for Hotten. You guys know, if you've been around a while, you guys actually know I love Isaiah Hartenstein. Holmes in 2 seconds? Yeah, I would do that. I don't think the Knicks would. My biggest question for the team is how a bench trio of Hardy, Seth, Tim is going to work. Yeah, one of those guys is like, I do think they ultimately plan on trading Tim Hardaway Jr. at some point. Some of the moves this offseason does not make sense otherwise. So anyways, what's the absolute most you'd be willing to give Josh Green per year? I haven't really thought about it. Honestly, I'm pretty bad at the extension stuff because like I get caught in like 2018 or something in my brain. We're like, oh my god, that guy's making 18 million. What the hell? But then you realize the cap's going up so much that it doesn't really matter. And 18 million, who knows? 18 million a few years from now might just be the mid-level. So I don't know. 4 for 60, 4 for 50. 18 million seems like a lot. Like, the thing the Mavericks have, the advantage the Mavericks have is they can let him hit restricted free agency. It's not a Jalen Brunson situation. He can hit restricted free agency. Around 20 is where I'm like, you know what, dude? Go test your market. Because we just saw restricted free agent Austin Reeves, who like most people thought could easily command $100 million in free agency. Restricted free agency the way it is now, where it just kind of ties you up. We saw teams weren't really that willing to offer him a lot of money. I'm a proponent of letting restricted guys test their market. I think the Suns were smart to do it with Ayton. I think the Warriors should have done it with Poole. I was adamant about that at the time. And I think the Hornets were ultimately very smart to do it with PJ Washington. Draw it out, let him test his market. The market wasn't there. They got him on a very friendly contract. Edie with the 5. Thank you so much. I'm very interested. The day's going to come where one of these, superstar young prospect players decides, you know what? I don't want to be a restricted free agent. I'm going to take the qualifying offer. Sure, I'll lose out on like $30 million, $40 million. But, I don't want to do restricted free agency. It's going to happen at some point. And I kind of thought Zion would have been the one, but for him, obviously, it was pretty smart to just take the extension with his injury history. No, too late for Luka. Too late for Luka. I was a little bit fearful it could be Luka. But I feel like once one guy does it, it's going to be... Once one guy does it, it's going to be what up, Doomer? Doomer Dwight Powell fan. That's so funny. As if there's like an optimist Dwight Powell fan. It's uncrusty time. Look at that. It's a little transparent. Can we have 2 minutes about how great Luka is? No, I'm a Luka hater. You're not getting it from me. I'm not giving you 2 minutes because you're going to get 30 to 40 minutes soon. That's all I'll say about that. Zoom in on the filling. Take a look at it, guys. Hello. That looked disturbing. We include Josh in a Tim Hardaway Jr. deal plus picks to get a PJ level player to play the 3, would you do it? I'm nobody's untouchable in my opinion besides Luka. I would definitely trade Josh Green if the right player was available, especially if the team's not that convinced they want to pay him. I think my thing is I would want the player we get, to kind of be like PJ Washington. Kind of be like PJ Washington where he's younger and under team control. So it's like I'm trading a young guy, but I'm also getting a young guy in return. Did you steal a kid's lunch money? Only those kind of PBJs are shown in school. Listen, here's the reality of the situation at hand, right? I cook a lot, usually just dinner. Sometimes it just becomes a little bit too much to cook a lunch, right? And when I cook, I mean, we got the cutting board out. We're chopping vegetables, right? We got spices. We're concocting, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful art. Sometimes I just don't have the time. So just get me a fucking PB&J and a Diet Coke. Maybe I'll make a little smoothie, right? And that's lunch. Dinner, maybe we break out the salmon. Maybe we break out the thin chicken breast, chop them up. You can do a million different things with them. Any news on Luka's leg injury? Oh yeah, there was actually an update about that. I guess they finally found something in an MRI. Luka thigh. New article in Slovenia about Luka. Oh, in Slovenia. How do you say that word? Slovenia? Slovene? Okay, Slovene. Luka's thigh injury, quoting Dr. Makura. It's not something that would prevent him from playing, but the physical defense on him intensifies the pain. With physiotherapy, we can lessen this a bit, but he will still play with pain for a while. Dr. Marko Makura is the Slovenian national team's head of medical staff. The article also says the MRI they made on Luka's thigh showed the injury for the first time, although it did not look like a major injury. So it's just a pain tolerance thing for Mr. Luka Doncic, which can affect play. Like it's not like he's 100% ready to go. Would love for this to go away, but Slovene. Lingering from when he messed up his Sloween. Sloween did not sound right. I forgot, like, the W makes a V sound. Sloween did not, that just coming out of my mouth didn't sound correct. Slovenian doctor just gave the perfect excuse for Luka to not play defense. I think he just told every NBA team, "Hey, you need to play really physical on Luka," which they already do. Grape over strawberry, grape jelly over strawberry. That raises questions. I don't care either way. Did they just say if he plays defense, it makes it worse? No, he's saying if a team plays physical defense on him, but the physical defense on him intensifies the pain. That's what they're saying. Although that would be funny if you just said, "Hey guys, he just can't play defense, man. He can't play defense, guys. It's his thigh." All right, I really don't have that much time left. I want to talk about some other things. Can you imagine any positive opportunities for the younger core of players at the Sixers this season, regardless if Harden stays? We didn't have a pick in the draft. I mean, is Tyrese Maxey still considered that part of that young core? I mean, yeah, of course he would, right? Who else is in that young core? Jaden Springer. Also got him. Like, who's in that young core? Paul Reed? Do y'all consider that? Jaden Springer's 21. He definitely counts. Ben Simmons, yeah. Mac McClung. He's still there. I don't see the young core coming through for the Sixers. Just being real. Let's talk Giannis, Mr. Bias. We have a bunch of money in 2025, and guess who's free that year? Giannis will be acquired via trade. I think if the season doesn't end well for the Bucks, what you're going to see is Giannis saying, "Hey, it's probably time." The Bucks, because you want to do a solid. Giannis would want to do a solid to the Bucks. It's time. I'm going to test free agency. You guys should probably look to trade me. Boom. McClung's with the Magic. That's right. Listen, I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible that Giannis ends up a member of the Mavericks. Just being real. Real quick, can you explain to me who Diggs was and why losing him was catastrophic? That contribute to yesterday's loss? He was the Cowboys' best quarterback. I don't know what the fuck I saw yesterday. That's why I took a break last year, guys. They will just disappoint you every step of the way. Like that is the reality of the situation. They will disappoint you. It will make no sense. And that's why last year I said, you know what? I don't want any part of it. This year I got sucked back in. And it's just like, I mean, what was the most, I think, shocking part of the game yesterday for the Cowboys? If you didn't know any better, and that was your first, like, if you didn't know anything about the NFL, which I know a lot, as evident by my picks record, 34-11. I ranked by the way, guys, listen to this. I ranked 244 in the world. I believe there are millions of entries. I maybe not millions, but if it's not millions, it's at least hundreds of thousands. 99.9 percentile. Like at a certain, are we going to talk about this? So while I might come off like I don't know what I'm talking about, trust me, I do. Okay? But if you didn't know, you think the Cardinals are the greatest team on the planet. Like they just, holy shit, they just dominated them. Potentially billions of people. Would you rather have Swifties be Chiefs fans or Cowboys fans? I was watching the game at a friend's house yesterday, or watching the games at a friend's house yesterday. And when they showed Taylor Swift on the Chiefs screen, my God, man. The reaction. The reactions are insane, man. The Swifties, Taylor Swift's just on another level right now. Which I don't really get it, because Taylor Swift was always really big. I had this conversation with a friend recently. Taylor Swift was always really big, really popular, huge numbers. But when did this shift happen where now she's like this mega icon? Her albums always went number one. They always sold 1 trillion copies. But this sort of like cultural phenomena thing feels brand new. 'Cause all her albums always went number one. They always sold 1 trillion copies. But this sort of like cultural phenomena thing feels brand new. 'Cause all her albums always went number one. They always sold 1 trillion copies. But this sort of like cultural phenomena thing feels brand new. like 4 years ago, if Taylor Swift was on the screen, they'd be like, oh, look, there's T Swift. But now it's like, oh, oh. I don't know what it was. It's called unified music marketing, just like with Beyonce. TikTok, maybe? Or maybe it's like, hey guys, wait a second. We're all like, there's so many Taylor Swift fans. We're all Taylor Swift fans, right? Let's just be psychotic about it now. Like, let's just go full psycho mode. We've already established there's so many of us. Let's not be shy anymore. Let's not hide it. Our fans were 15 before, now they're 25 and louder. I'm telling you right now, man, it's older than 25. Like some of the hardcore Swifties I know are months away from turning 30 years old. Are you a Swiftie? I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie, but I like some of her songs. I mean, she's got some good songs. You know, she's a very successful music artist who makes some pretty good music. Sally Bias is more of an icon. We stand Dallas super agent who convinced Grant. Yeah, that's true. You know, it's one of those things where Taylor Swift's more public. She's more in the public eye, right? And I'm just moving behind the scenes, and people don't fully appreciate what's going on here. You know, but its impact reaches far beyond. It's like a shadow group. I'm like the CIA in a lot of ways. Yeah, I'm like BlackRock. The young Swiftie fams got their mom to be fans, but they use their credit cards to buy tickets and merch. Yeah, I have 2 pairs of Lukas. Is there more of a chance of either Embiid or Giannis leaving their respective teams if the team has a bad season? I think Embiid's I think guaranteed to be gone. There's no way Embiid stays in Philly. Giannis is a little bit more up in the air, I feel like. Because the Bucks can still have a really good season. And I don't know what he does if they have a really good season. You ever consider posting footage of you hooping? Here's the thing, guys. I'm not great, right? I'm not very good, and I feel like it's literally only downside to me posting footage of me hooping. Like, what good could come out of it? Have you seen people on Twitter who like post themselves hooping? Literally no good can come from it. No, I'm not short. I'm older. You know, I don't have the juice anymore. Slightly is only good block to block board god. I'm more of a mid-range maestro. I mean, let's just 11-3 on my picks, right? Niners, easy. Lions, easy. I didn't watch a single second of this game. I did not consume a single second of it. Don't know what happened at all. Patriots over the Jets. What a dog shit game. Easy. All of these games sucked, by the way. Was there a single good game yesterday? Browns destroyed the Titans. All day I thought the Titans. I picked the Titans to win, but I guess I didn't. The Boston Celtics are favorites to land Damian Lillard if he's not traded to Miami. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I genuinely just don't care anymore. Packers over the Saints. I don't know what happened here. I left my apartment to go meet up with some friends. the Saints were winning 17-0. I didn't even know until hours later that they lost. I saw a little ticker at the bottom. Green Bay 18, Saints 17. I said, whoa, what the fuck? The Saints lost? Let's not talk about this. An oversight on my part. We won't talk about it. We won't talk about that. Just I read the vibes completely and totally wrong there. The vibes radar was picking something up in this game, and what I thought it was, here's the problem, right? Just needed some more fine tuning on the vibe radar. Vibes radar was picking something up in this game. I could sense something, and I thought what that meant was the Broncos were going to win, right? But what the vibe meter was actually picking up was that the Dolphins were going to score 70 points. I just misread it. You know, it happens. The process was right. The vibes radar picked something up. It was just we didn't interpret it. It's still a language we're trying to learn, right? We know some stuff. We've decoded some of the stuff, but there's still some hieroglyphics we don't understand. Okay? Chargers to beat the Vikings. I can't believe everyone picked the Vikings to win. 58% picked the Vikings. Are you guys crazy? They're fucking terrible this year. Newsflash. Bills destroyed the Commandos. This was my piece de resistance here. The vibes radar. See, they picked something up in this game. I said Texans. 3% picked the Texans, including myself. The vibes radar just picked it up. We interpreted it. Just felt it. Felt it in the air. Weird. Very strange. AFC South games are always disgusting. And just felt it. Ravens fucked me. I mean, nothing really to say other than that. Seahawks won. I just didn't watch any of these games. I don't know what happened. Chiefs. What did I tell you guys, man? Before the season started, I said, wait, why are we saying Justin Fields is good? Oh, because we want him to be good. Like, what's the the guy who was terrible all year, his whole career is terrible yet again. Oh, Vibe Radar was off the charts for the Chiefs this week with the Travis Kelce, T Swift stuff. Like, it was just in the air. And the Bears are just horrible. Vibes Radar was very anti-Bears this week. Does Nurkic going to the Suns make them the biggest Nuggets rival? That trade's just still so dumb to me. I don't know where my cat is. Oh, man. What a terrible game. Jesus. Just a horrible game. I mean, it shows you. It shows you why. I said, I'm taking a break last year. I said, I'm taking a break. I'm not following the Cowboys. I already know what's going to happen. Vibe Radar was terrible. Came back this year. Went with the annoying Cowboys fan shtick. And you know what? I'm going to stick to it. We need some adversity. Just needed some adversity. Needed a quick little punch in the mouth. Just to sit the team down and just be like, hey, guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? You got to take every game seriously. So this is the turning point in the season. But damn, man. Fuck. How did you look that bad against the Cardinals? They're terrible. Josh Dobbs looked like the greatest quarterback in the NFL history. Yeah, 4 offensive linemen missing definitely sucked. And they kept panning to like Tyron Smith. Man, it's time to hang him up. Tyron, you had a great career, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever do it. But like it's just time. You can't stay on the field. Can't rely on him. Just can't. unfortunate, but it's true. And Dak sucked. Defense was terrible. But Dak was not good. He has to play better. This team wants to win. He has to play way better. He has not been good this season. The Cowboys offense has not been good at all this year. They have not. Their defense handed them points and great field position against the dog shit Giants. The defense did the same thing against the Jets. Like, the offense has not been good. They need to win. Like, they need to play better to win. The offense is going to have to pick it up. Maybe this is like a sign, hopefully, that it's like, oh, hey, the offense has actually not been very good this year, and this game really showcased it. But they're like running. They're like, yeah, they're milking clock with 3 minutes left. They're down by 9. Did they know that? Did they know that they were down by multiple possessions? They might not have known that. Genuinely, they actually might not have known. It's possible. And the Dak pick was just terrible. But you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me a lot of like the Niners games the last 2 years in the playoffs where, sure, you have a chance to win, and then Dak does some dumb shit and everyone blames Dak. But the reality is you weren't going to win anyways. Like, the game was already lost before the Dak meltdown happened. Defensive over pursuit was exploited yesterday. Yeah. And then the Steelers beat the Raiders. This is kind of a fun game. So just another tremendous week for me. You know, I've missed 3 games so far. Knock on glass. There's 2 games tonight. Broncos, again, this was just miscalibration with the vibrator. I felt it. There was some weird vibes with this game. I thought that meant the Broncos were going to pull out a win, but really what it was a 70-point explosion by the Dolphins. Yes. I played against Raheem Mostert in one of my fucking leagues, but I had him in my other 2 leagues and started him in both, so we'll take it. What's it, Mostert and Achane? Is that how he wants to pronounce his name a certain way? Is it Achane? Both had 4 touchdowns each. Like, what on earth? Ravens just, they fucked me over. And then the Cowboys. What else is there to say? Achane and Mostert? No, Achane wants his name to be Achane. Achane. Eagles tonight, Bengals tonight. Yep. Y'all too hard on Dak. He had to score twice in 30 minutes. He was going to have to force some throws eventually. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like those games against the Niners where Dak does something stupid, but the game was already lost. And we needed a miracle anyways. But I still don't think he played good regardless. Like, the team as a whole played like dog shit, to be fair. And I don't think Dak's been good at all this year. He has not. Just has to play better. Hopefully this is the... All right, guys. We got to really pick it up and play seriously both sides of the ball from here on out. Not giving up. Not giving up. I did block them on Twitter again, though. I unblocked them during the week. They did this. I go back to blocking them. Just maybe there's something there. The Cardinals smothered the receivers. I don't know if they were playing drop coverage or what, but he didn't have any looks. Yeah, dude, you would have thought it was the best secondary in the history of the NFL. Oh boy, guys, another Dunk Central Damian Lillard report. Everyone gather around. 2 really high rankings. Whoa. What? Not just high ranking, really high ranking. Team executives believes the Toronto Raptors are the front runners for Damian Lillard. They wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in the 6. Okay. Oh, I also want to talk about something else too. How do I word this? Maybe I don't say this. How do I word this without sounding racist? Because let's be real, right? There's like, let's just call it what it is. I would venture to guess 70%. 70% of the people who like are happy the University of Colorado lost are racist. Like, I'll just say it. 70%. It's like that. It's like that meme where it's all of the profile pictures of all of the reply guys, and they're all like in a pickup truck with a camo hat on. That's like 70% of the people celebrating Colorado losing. Listen, I celebrate it because I hate college football. So you see the difference there, and I'm tired of fucking seeing it everywhere I look because I just can't stand college football. I think it's the worst sport. It is the worst sport. Right? So for me, it's like, oh, finally. Like, maybe I just don't have to hear about college football again. Like, that's just it for me. Soccer is worse. No, I'd much rather watch soccer than college football. College football is just horrible to me. I can't. You guys want to watch? Like, there might be 2 good quarterbacks, and everyone else is just throwing the ball, 15 yards over the receiver's head or throwing it into the dirt. Like, it's hard. It's brutally hard to watch. In my opinion. It's a cool story. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool story. It's a cool story. The Dion and the Colorado stuff. Which would you rather listen to watch? Colorado Buffaloes or Wrexham AFC? Oh. That shit annoys me too. But I haven't watched any of the Wrexham stuff, but I'm not going to lie. I get a hint of annoyance out of that as well. Slightly hates a feel-good story. I kind of am a hater. Dion's just doing it his way. If you were made a head of a team or company, anybody would do the same. No, listen, I'm not even hating on Dion. I think it's a cool story. He's definitely, as a Cowboys fan, I love him. He's got a ton of swagger. He's hilarious. He's fun to watch. The team was fun to watch. It's a cool story. I just hate college football, and I'm tired of everywhere I look. Like, man, I'm trying to get Damian Lillard rumors. Do you understand? Like, I need the 16th Dunk Central tweet of the day talking about, oh, wait a second, Damian Lillard might actually go to Toronto. Then 5 minutes later, wait a second, Damian Lillard's not going to Toronto. Then 3 minutes later, wait, no, actually, Damian Lillard might go to Toronto. That's what I'm looking for on Twitter. I'm tired. I don't care about college football. Like, I'm trying to watch 60 Minutes in peace. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought it was funny. 60 Minutes comes on after I don't know what channel 60 Minutes is on, but it always comes on right after the football games one day on Sundays. What about college basketball? I kind of like college basketball. Well, I watch college basketball, a random, SEC game in the middle of January? Probably not. No. If nothing else is on TV, though, I'll give it a go. March Madness, though. Of course. Incredible sporting event. CBS. That's what I thought. Just an incredible sporting event, March Madness is. But I also thought, okay, so here's another reason, too. People on Twitter are just so annoying about the Colorado team. Like both ways. But, like, that clip of the Oregon coach... That clip of the Oregon coach talking before the game, that spawned a trillion think pieces. It made me want to throw my phone off the fucking balcony. Like, have anybody mad at that? Have you guys never been? No, the Oregon coach, like the pregame speech he gave to his team, where he was like, "We're gonna win. This isn't Hollywood." Whatever the fuck he said, I don't even remember what it was. Have you guys never been in a locker room? Have you guys never played an organized sport and been in a locker room before a game at any level? Like, coaches will just say anything. To get a team hype. It's like the biggest non-story of all time. Wait, what were people saying? They were just saying it was like super disrespectful and, you know, like he should have said that. And it was like hypocritical because Oregon has a bunch of different jerseys. And that's true. The Oregon jerseys are fucking eyesores always. Oregon and Baylor should be punished for their crimes of making the highlighter jerseys a thing. They're terrible. They suck. I hate them. That we play to win, not for views. Yeah, that we play for wins, not for clicks. That's what he said. But it's a pregame locker room speech. Like, coaches will say anything. The Oregon coach played the metagame, speaking about clicks while giving permission to cameras to appear and generate clicks. Don't they always have locker rooms or cameras in the locker rooms for speeches? I feel like I see those a lot, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, though, I don't like getting your team hyped before a game. There was those clips of like the Georgia coach when they were like 48-point favorites. This is why I fucking hate college football. They're like 40-point favorites in the national championship game. Like, oh, what a great sport, right? 40-point favorites in the national championship game. How fun is that? And there was a locker room speech where he was like, "No one believes in us. We're the underdogs." And the team's like, "Yeah!" You just got to say crazy shit to get your team hype. It is what it is. The Oregon jerseys used to go hard back in the day, though. Like 2013, 2014. I don't think I was ever a fan of the highlighter shit. Then every kid everywhere had neon green shorts. Like, it was just terrible. A terrible time for our society. I'm pretty sure they still are the Nike school, aren't they? All right, anyways, that's pretty much all I got today. A shorter stream. We're going to be ramping up very soon. Trying to think what I want to do. I want to do season predictions like the week or two before the season starts, but I think we're going to be doing we're doing a bracket on Wednesday for sure, unless something crazy happens. Knock on glass. One more month of being the champions. That's right. When are you doing propaganda video for players? So that slipped through the cracks this year. I'm gonna try. I'm just noticeably more busy now than I was last year, unfortunately. But anyways, Wednesday, we're going to do a bracket. I think we're going to do the best backcourts in the NBA, rank them. And then Friday, I think we'll do hot takes for every NBA team. Something along the lines. And how about those Rangers? What a series. Oh, we're so fucking back. I 100% plan on streaming. Like, what happened? Did my desk move or some shit? My monitor might have actually moved. Whatever. World Series are bust? Oh, we'll be busting then. I just want to make the playoffs. Like, I just make the playoffs. Get in there. A majorly successful season. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out. I know it's more of a lax stream, but just, again, we're just waiting. We're just waiting. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Monday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'm going to be on Locked On Mavs tonight. I do plan on having a video out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. The video is going to be what I'm kind of thinking content might look like on this channel this upcoming season. So just be on the lookout for that. And I'll be live again on Wednesday. So talk to you guys later. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.